Topanga, welcome to Real Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for coming out. I have to let everyone know if anyone watches this or listens to it on the podcast on Spotify. We met on an app called Rizzo, and I believe we had a connection. We hit it off right away. You know what I mean? We shared the same values. We had great conversation. So I wanted to bring you on today. We're going to learn a little bit about you, but I want you to share your story, and we'll learn what that is a little later. But first, Topanga, where were you born and raised?
Well, I was born in Monterey County. I don't know if you know where that is in
Oh, you,
California.
yeah, you got to help me out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in California.
Mhm.
So I've kind of mostly just been around California because I was born in Monterey, and then when I was like 7, we moved to Sacramento, and then when I was like 14, I moved to Santa Barbara, and that's where I am now.
Okay, Santa Barbara,
So,
Cali.
yeah, just all over
Mhm.
California.
Yeah, and is that the Sunshine State? What is California known as? The
Yeah, I
Sunshine
believe
State.
Sunshine State. Yeah, or is that Florida? No, I can't
You
remember.
don't even know.
I live here. I can't remember. Yeah,
Wait, so have you ever been to Canada?
I've not. No,
You're not. Is it someplace you want to visit one day?
I wanted to a while back. I don't know now with COVID and all this stuff. I
Yeah.
would like to in the future. Yes.
Okay, cool, cool. Okay, so now when you're younger, did you have a good childhood? Do you remember your childhood, your friends and everything?
Yeah, I had a pretty decent childhood. I mean, I had my parents were never married, so I kind of was flopped between them with summers and school time. So it was really nice though, because I had siblings at my dad's house and then my sister at my mom's house. So I
Mhm.
got to be with everyone all the time. And, it was I think it was pretty blessed compared to other blended families because I had a stepmom and everyone got along well. So I think we were very blessed in that way.
Nice, nice. And I keep forgetting though, like how old are you? Because you're around my daughter's age, right? How old are you?
I am 24.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
yeah, so high school is just, a few years back for you, right? So I keep
Yeah.
forgetting that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But before I get into school, so with me, what I'm getting at is I'm 48. So when social media came about, we reconnected with a lot of our friends that we lost touch with. But you're just, out of high school, so you still know, are you still good friends with your high school friends?
Yeah, most of them, because I had a very small friend group, so they are still my friends to this day.
Okay, okay.
So that's nice
Yeah.
to have them around.
Hmm. And how were you in school?
How was I?
Yeah.
Like grade wise
Grade
or as a
wise, yeah.
person?
Grade
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah. Oh no, I was really good. Always got really good GPA. And there was one point I got on like not honor roll or it was something that it was a good achievement. But yeah, I did pretty decent with school. I still have my senior year printout of my grades because it was all A's and I'm really proud of all the
Oh.
A's because it was really hard. I did not do that well like with chemistry. I was not very good at it. So at the end of the year when it was all A's, I was so proud.
Nice.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thanks.
So what about post-secondary school? So in here in Toronto, after high school, we either go to college or university. What about there?
I didn't do anything. No,
What do you do?
right out of high school, I got my first job. Well, actually, in high school, I got my first job and I was there a couple of years out of high school. And then from there, I got another job. And so I've just been working.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know too. Did you work during high school? How old were you when you got your first job?
I think I was 17 when I got my first job.
Mhm.
Well, I was 16 when I had an unpaid internship. And then I was 17 when I got my first paid job. And I worked there for a couple of years. So, yeah.
Okay. And you want to tell the industry that you mostly worked in?
The
What did you?
industry, oh, just
Yeah,
mostly retail.
it
Like
was
I
retail.
worked at a Western clothing store. Yeah, so it was
Okay.
all boots and it was like Carhartt merchandise. You know the brand Carhartt, so it
Actually, I
was
don't. I
you
don't.
don't
No,
know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
here you'll see all kinds of people wearing Carhartt t-shirts, jackets. I mean, it's all over. So Yeah, it was a Western clothing store. So a lot of people who were farmers would come in, or just people who rode it's called horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would come in, and
Yeah.
so I didn't know anything about Western clothing. I was actually really impressed that I got the job because I didn't know anything. So I was learning on the spot, and customers were helping me learn. But it was nice. It was a nice 2 years.
Oh, it was 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So you became an expert then.
Yeah. I can help people pick out what kind of boots they want.
Yeah,
Yeah, I figured it out.
Yes, nice. So one thing I admired about you when we used to talk is your control with social media. I really admired that because you're a millennial, right? I think you're a millennial.
Yes.
So you grew up in that social media age. But I remember you saying something about, were you setting your phone or putting down? Like, explain that part of it. So,
Yeah,
because
my
some people might
husband,
want to know.
yeah, my husband actually helped me out with that because I didn't know that the phone had like it's not a sleep mode. It's kind of like it'll block you out of your apps and you need the password or something to get in. So
Yeah.
my husband helped me set it up so that way I would get locked out of my Instagram or my Facebook after a certain point of usage. It wouldn't just be like, oh, at 8 p.m. It was more like you've been on it for 4 hours and now it's locked. So that helped me balance because then I wouldn't be on it all day because I'll be like, oh, I've already been on it for like 20 minutes and I might want to check later. So I don't want to use up all my time in the morning because then I don't have time in the evening. And it helps keep me balanced with when I would be on social media.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't consume my entire day, especially because you can get distracted just scrolling. And that's not good.
Yeah, the rabbit hole. Yeah.
No. One YouTube video after the next. It's like, oh, that's interesting. And no, it needs to stop at some point.
Yeah, the algorithm's crazy, eh? And how it reads your mind, like it's so mind controlling, and it's kind of like telling you this is what you're clicking on next because I know you.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's creepy.
It is creepy. You mentioned your husband now. I call him your soulmate. So you were married young. So give me a little synopsis of how you met him and then when you got married.
Yeah, I actually met him in high school. I believe I was 14 when I met him, but I was 15 when we started dating, and he was 16. So we met him through a friend of mine. She dragged me to church because I actually didn't grow up being a Christian or going to church all the time. So when I moved to Santa Barbara, I met my friend because she was my neighbor, and she invited me to church, and I went to the youth group, and he was the cute little drummer boy. And yeah, and I was just like hard eyes the moment I saw him. And she introduced us, and so we got to know each other more, and we started talking a lot more. We had a lot in common. And after about a year or so of friendship, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and everything just kind of took off from there. And we've been growing together ever since then. And then when did we get married? 2018, and I was 21. So that was just 3 years ago. Yeah.
You got to
it's been a
celebrate
long time
before COVID too, right?
Yes. Yeah. We just barely missed it.
I know.
We were engaged for a year. So yeah. I've heard of people being engaged for
stop. I remember, I proposed to my wife. I forgot. I'm old now. I can't remember everything. We've been married for 20 years. And I remember I proposed, and then we were engaged for a while. And then it was about time. And we had our daughter before too, right?
Okay.
We got married. And
Why'd you wait so long?
I can't remember back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember. I don't know if I wasn't ready. I don't know.
I mean, sometimes it's careers, just things like getting in the way. But
So now, Topanga, I want you to share your story. But before you do, I want to read something that you wrote when I sent you the Real Talk with Star Scorpio form. And it goes like this. So after suffering the loss of my baby, I began to reevaluate my life's direction. And through that, my relationship with God grew. I wish to make an impact, and in parentheses, no matter how small, in this world for others who are struggling in the same way I have. I want to live for something greater than myself. So, can you share with everyone what that meant?
So to me, that meant like, well, it's kind of fast. It's sad and fascinating. Losing someone so close that you didn't even get to know really. I, was seeking answers, and it's like there's no answers. It's just all, you know, crazy nonsense in a fallen world that we don't have answers for. It's just the way of life. It's not fair. And through my search, I have met a lot of people, a lot of wonderful people who have gone through what I've gone through, and I see them. I wouldn't say not healing. I don't see them not healing. I just see that I have managed to find peace in my faith, and it's been heartbreaking to see that they aren't finding peace. And I would really love to help people, women, even men. I know men struggle with the loss. Everyone says, well, the women carried the baby, so it's more painful for them. But it's like I saw my husband hurt a lot too, and he needed someone to lean on. So it's like I want to help those who are going through a loss and are not finding peace, because it just breaks my heart. It's just one of those things, you can't change, but you want to try and help heal the wound. And it'll still be a scar, but it won't be an open wound. And it's just really close to my heart. So,
Can you let everyone know your daughter's name that you lost?
Yeah, Melody Grace. We named her Melody Grace Fraats. It was actually really fitting, even like after she had passed, we were like, well, she definitely was a song of grace. She's just a beautiful little baby, and her name will live on through all of us as time goes on. Yeah.
First of all, I already reached out to you, and my condolences and everything. Sorry for your loss. But can you let everyone know the condition that she had?
Yeah, it was called thanatophoric dysplasia, and she actually had type 2, which is way more severe, because there are babies who have lived with thanatophoric dysplasia type 1. The difference is in the skull, because with type 1, the skull did not fuse together as in the womb as a newborn. But with Melody, her skull did. So because it fused together, her skull was in this cloverleaf shape, because there was nowhere for her brain to go, and then it was filling with fluid, and it was compressing her a brainstem. And so the brainstem wasn't allowing the rest of her body to communicate or grow, and that's why she was so tiny. But her head was so large because it had so much fluid, and it was very constrained. And anyway, so that's why her condition was lethal, is because of the compression from the skull being fused. So that's one of those things, like, you can't really change it, because you can't go in the womb at 20 weeks and help her skull. Like, it's in her DNA. It was just how it was. And so she was a dwarf. She did have dwarfism. And at first I was preparing to have a baby with dwarfism. I was like, I will help her in whatever way she needs. And we were praying that it wouldn't be lethal, but it was. She couldn't breathe on her own. So, and the baby, we were reading about a baby who did live with thanatophoric dysplasia type 2, but the max they lived was like 4 years. So it's like I would have loved to have that 4 years with her, but at the same time, what kind of a life would it have been? But like, it's one of those things. If I had those 4 years, I would have loved every second of it. But I know that she's in peace. She lived for an hour. We had an hour. And I will cherish that hour.
I was gonna say that. So you got time to spend with her.
Yes.
And you took pictures and everything, right? So you have those memories.
Yes, absolutely. And we have a video of her being born too. I will probably never share that with public, but yes, I have that video, and I will cherish that as well forever. Yeah.
You're amazing. You can tell the story, and it will help a lot of people. And
Yeah,
just,
and you know
just
that this is what's amazing about modern day technology is
Mhm.
being able to communicate with people, and even having the photos of her. My grandma mentioned that she had a baby sister who was born, and I don't remember what the condition was, but something was wrong, and they didn't have like the technology, and they didn't even have a camera at the time. I think cameras were around, but they didn't have one, so they don't know what she looked like. They don't have anything like that, and so I feel really blessed at this point in history where we can have the
Yeah,
pictures and the video. And it's amazing to be able to remember her and share her with the
yes,
world.
yes.
Anyways, continue.
Thank you for sharing that story. And now, so you stopped posting for a while. So I don't know if I knew what was happening. I forgot when I found out. But of course, forget social media, forget life, because you have to deal with this pain and suffering. But you came back, and you came back strong. So now I want to ask you, wait, before we get into the business you started, though, because you started a
Uh-huh.
business, you were doing a lot of content creating, different makeup tutorials and things like that.
Mhm.
So what happened to that aspect of the Instagram life and even YouTube you were doing?
There is a whole timeline of my Instagram and my YouTube, just everything that's been going on because I started when did I start YouTube? In like 2019 or something. But then COVID hit because my YouTube channel was going to be me and my husband. We like travel, we're trying new things because we don't get out much. We're like homebodies. We don't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that much.
yeah,
I mean, when we go out, it's to get lunch.
yeah,
So we don't do that much.
yeah,
So I was like, oh, it'd be fun to actually record our time going out and doing things like going bowling for once or going to an amusement park, like actually doing things. But then COVID hit. It is like, well, where are we going to go? So
yeah.
we couldn't really go anywhere. So I kind of stopped doing that. But then I got really into politics for a while, not in a good way, but because of COVID, I just got really involved and things were grinding my gears. So
Yeah, yeah.
I I started posting things about that, but then I it just was very unhealthy. And
Mhm.
so I started to do more makeup based stuff and more fun things here at home. And that was all fun. But then, of course, with the pregnancy and the news, that kind of stopped. And so it's like I've been trying to get out there, but just life just happens.
Life
And you
happens.
can't control it. And you just have to kind of go with the motions and kind of find your way. And so that's where I am. I kind of had been jumping from thing to thing, but life was just taken over. And here we are, 2022, and I'm trying again.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I
we'll
like
see where
that.
it takes me.
Yes, I like you motivated me because let me know now the business you started. First of all, you're an animal lover like myself, right?
Yes.
So let me know who's in the house besides your husband. Who's in the house?
So I do have my two dogs here. They were barking earlier. My little Chihuahua and then my mutt. She's like a mix. We don't know what she is.
Okay.
Pit Bull, Labrador. And then my rabbit, my beautiful little bunny.
Yeah.
So I love them. They are my family.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my husband, but I love my animals too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm obsessed with them.
Okay.
All of my children.
Yes, that's what I call my. I had two cats that we had to give away, and
Oh,
because we got two dogs, but my friend who I gave them to, they just passed actually both in the same year, but they lived to
were they
20.
old?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
20 years old and 18. But
Mhm.
my dog Abby passed away. That I don't even want to talk about that. But we have Ginger right now. She's our life right now.
Yeah. How old is she?
14 this year in October.
Oh, I love when they live that long. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Well, because I had a dog. She was probably 3 years old and she had gotten hit by a car and she just
Oh,
died so young. And so having these dogs that live like 10 plus years, because I don't know if you know about my other Chihuahua. He lived to be 14 and he had a lot
oh,
of medical problems, but he lived a good long life. And it's just so nice to see them live
mhm.
out their old
I
age.
know, I know. So
Mhm.
now let's get into this.
Mhm.
So tell me the name of your business and how it came about then.
So it is Fluffy Fraats family. My dad laughs at it. He's like, "That's such a long name."
Yeah.
And I said, if Worcestershire sauce can survive, I don't even know how to say it. I'm like, if they can survive, I will be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to do something around the dogs and family because I was like, I have a lot of dog product and my candles have like paw print shapes. I don't know if you've seen them. The candles are out now. I had a launch this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have like little paw prints on them. So I was like, I want to do something around the dogs and fraughts and family. So I was like, I could do furry family, but I was like, that's weird. It didn't sound right to me. So I was like, fluffy family.
Yeah.
I did fluffy fraughts family. And that's how that came about.
But coming up with the name is half the fun too, right?
It is half the fun.
Yeah.
Well, especially because I did want to make it like a legitimate business. I know a lot of the time I've done it. You just kind of throw a name out there and you're like, here's my business. But I wanted to actually like get my LLC and open a businessing bank account. And like, I wanted to go the full way.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need a name
Yeah.
that actually represents what I do. And so, yeah, that's where it ended up. And so everything came together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of it.
But you did say something. Try and think of it because I can't think of it right now. But this is what motivated me on your website. Mm-hmm. You said something about not working the 9 to 5, like the 9 to 5, and you want to start something on your road. And I was like, I like hearing that.
Yeah, well, for me, it's like I am working 40 hours a week. And well, actually, with my job, I was working like 35. But still, most Americans, we're working 40 hours a week. And I was thinking, if I'm going to be working that much, why can't I work that much for my own business, for my own growth? Like I'm doing it for someone else's business, and that's nice to kind of learn. But at a certain point, it's been 7 years of me working for other businesses. And it's like, I should really do my own thing now. Like I kind of have this general base. What's it called? What's it called? Can't think of the word, but now I can't think of the word. Anyways, mm-hmm. I have a general idea of how a business is run and products, merchandising, sales, things like that. So I was like, great. Now I need to put that into my own business and my own interests. So that's where I turned it around.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Because you're investing in yourself.
Investing in yourself. It's better to put that energy into yourself. But again, I had a couple conversations with a few guests, and it comes back to money. Like money, you need money to pay your bills. So some people don't want to start now, and they get all tied up with other things. But if you can focus on it because it's what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. And Chris Staples, a professional dunker, he said something like, find something that makes you happy and learn how to get paid for it, or find a way to get paid for it. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah. And it's also like priorities. I have had to learn, like, I would love a new couch, but I have a couch that works. So instead of spending $100 plus on a new couch, I'll take that money and I'll invest it into my business instead of buying a couch that I don't need, I just want. So it's like figuring out those little priorities, little changes.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So I need to ask you now, do you have any advice for anyone? Because you're young too. So I like it coming from a young person. Do you have any advice for someone that's ready to like give up on their dream? They don't know what direction to go in life. Using your experience, do you have anything to give to someone listening?
Using my experience, I would say honestly, just breathe. I used to freak out that I wasn't going anywhere in life, and it was like, just stop, just stop freaking out. Just take a deep breath and just kind of focus on the next thing. Like I was focusing months and years down the line, and it's like, I need this, that, and the other. I need to have a plan. I need to have it all mapped out. And it's like, no, you really don't. You really just need to do today, and then you need to do tomorrow. And that's all you need to focus on, because plans change, ideas change, interests change. So it's like, just kind of move with it. And even social media, the algorithms are changing. Don't worry about, I need to get to 10K. Like, no, you don't need to. I know you want to, but it's you need to focus just one day at a time. Yeah. I mean, especially with learning through the loss of melody, it's like, I can plan all day long, but that doesn't mean that my end game that I want is the end game I'm going to get. It's just one day at a time, and we kind of go with the flow.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for sharing. So now we come to the point in the interview where I'm going to ask you to choose a card from one of my hands, and then I'm going to read it out to you and you answer it, right? Mix this up a little bit. By my hands, which card do you want me to read?
The one on the right.
On the right.
The other one.
on my left,
that
right?
One. Yeah.
You know
it
what?
Looks like my right. So.
Yeah. You know what? I had a feeling when I interviewed you, this would come up as the question. Name one challenging thing you had to overcome in life.
Wow. Well, it would definitely be grief.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I've had to overcome. I know we haven't touched on it. We only mentioned, melody, but the entire 2021, I lost my grandpa, and then my nephew, then my daughter, and then we put my dog down. And actually, beginning this year, my other grandpa passed away. And it was like, you just feel defeated. And at some point, I'm not really grieving anymore. It's just like I'm stoic. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That time in life is done, and it's on to the next point in life. But that's where my faith comes in. And that's where it's like, I have to remember that I don't control life and death, and God does. And I have to be grateful that I had my daughter, because my sister even mentioned, like, would you have preferred to have never been pregnant at all? And I was like, no, I am so grateful that God gave me Melody. Even though she left really early, she existed. And I'm like, that is beautiful. My grandpa existed. My nephew existed. My dog existed. I'm so grateful that they existed. And so I would say grief is definitely the biggest thing I've had to overcome. And I've made peace. And I'm not perfect, but I do feel in a really good place.
Wow. Thanks for sharing. That was so nice. I think I've gotten used to, not used to is the wrong word, but you experienced death young. Like, I can't remember. I remember my friend died. I was 28. My first close friend died of cancer. And that was hard. I lost it. I lost weight, couldn't eat. Like, I was messed up for a long time. But again, like you, 2020, 2021, a lot of loss. And it's like, I used to break down hard when people pass, but now I'm trying to understand that God has a plan. And if someone was in your life for that short period of time or long period of time, cherish that moment.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Just give back. It's like almost what you said too, give back to people, like share your story, share your love. And then just while we're here, just be the best person you can be.
Right.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing that.
Of course. I'm really glad that we got to do this.
Yeah.
I know it's been a week. I think we were supposed to do it last week.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So now, Topanga, I also do this for charities, right? Good causes. So right now, what you're going to do is pick a balloon. So you're actually my second guest for season 3.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. My first guest was Tyshawn Carter Newman. He won Big Brother Canada.
Okay. Yeah, I saw your post.
Yeah. And now, Topanga, this season, I am donating to Autism Ontario. So that's the province I live in. Claws, I just found them actually. My friend Sherry got her dog from Claws, and they help out, stray, lost, injured dogs, things like that. I want someone to come on the show so they can actually explain it better than me. But of course, they're a charity, and I'm going to donate to them. And then CAMH, which is the Center for Addiction and Mental Health.
Okay.
So again, I don't know how we're going to do this, but by my hands, whatever, left, middle, or right.
Left, middle, all right. Okay. I will do middle.
Middle.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3, episode 2. The second charity Star Scorpio is donating to is see it, but
there it is.
CAMH. Beautiful. They do amazing work. Okay. So Topanga, before we go, let the people know how they could find you. Instagram, Facebook, the website. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would mostly say Instagram, and then from there you can find the website, Instagram, Topanga Fraats, Fluffy Fraats family, both of those. That's mainly where I am, is Instagram and then the website.
Right. Perfect. All right. This is episode 2 of season 3 of Real Talk with Star Scorpio, and we out.